Hi, this is Arsh Vinayak, and this is my video demonstration for FIT 2097 assignment number 2. I'm going to start by showing you a demo of my game. So let's start with the server. The objects you can interact with glow, they are color coded. So yellow objects mean they are for health. If I click this, you can see there's an particle effect when I collect them, and my health and joy increased. Blue ones are for stamina. My stamina and joy increased. The extra functionality, there's one extra functionality. The color of my body changes according to my health. This is a big one. This is for speed, so increase it by 50%. As you can see, my speed has increased. I want to show that everything is being replicated in the client as well. So as when I pick this up, you can see the particle effect in the client as well. The client is almost dead. As you can see, it's red. I can't move it now because it lost all of its health. I'm getting low on health myself. Let's collect some health to complete the maze. So got some stamina. This is my extra functionality as well. These are randomly generated and dropped into the world. All of the pickups, they are not placed by me. So if I can explore the maze, get to the end point. This is the superpower pickup. So last of the pickups, we saw the health, stamina, and speed. This is superpower. You can see it increases the health by double, and once you collect these, it says third person character won. So this is my character. This one won. I'll demonstrate the end screen as well. That was the winning screen when both of the players win. This time I'm controlling the client just to demonstrate that everything works, but I won't. Alright, I'll collect one of each object to show everything works here as well. So you can see the particle effects, and yeah, and you can see the speed increase when I collected the speed boost. I'm just going to go over to my server and stand here. They're both losing health. As you can see, the color is changing from green. You can note the difference in color because I picked up one health pickup. Let's do it once again to show you that again. So as you can see, the color changed. That's extra functionality, dynamic materials. I'll talk about it later. But if I jump back to my server now, I can't move it because it has died. It's red. I can still move this, but yeah, game over. I was moving, that's why it kept moving. But yeah, game over. As soon as it goes into game over, you can't move. Alright, so that was the demo of my game with a demo of the extra functionality as well, which was changing the colors and dropping the pickups randomly, but I'll get back to it. Let's go over the code now. So the first thing I need to go over is two-player characters in the game. I've shown both of them work. Everything is replicated between both the worlds. The HUD also works. The next one is one of those characters goes through the maze, collecting each power-up and completing the game. I demonstrated the health, stamina, speed, and the final superpower pickup. All of them work and completed the maze. So I've completed these two. Let's go to the third one, which is show the C++ code of power character and power-ups. Before I move on to it, I want to discuss the trace function. So I have implemented a trace function. I've coded everything, but I don't particularly like using it in my assignment. It just looks much better when I don't, and instead use collision sphere. But I'll just build it super quick to show that I have indeed coded it and show the functionality. So while it builds, let's go over the header file for the character, which is the first thing we have to discuss. So first of all, everything has been commented out. So this is where my code begins. Everything has been commented in simple English. Simple English mainly for me, because I was learning while I was coding. So this way I don't forget what the functions are doing. So this is just for networking. So starting power, this is my accessor functions for all of the different stats. Stamina, joy, pickup name. This is to get the name of the current pickup. Yeah, so joy, stamina, these are updating it. Alright, so this has now completed building. I'll get back to the header file, but I'll just demonstrate the trace functionality super quick. So as you can see, this is the trace. If I move over to the health object and look at the health object, yeah, it shows the name of the object because this is health. It shows health. If I move over to stamina, it shows stamina pickup. If I can get my, yeah, so stamina pickup, this works similarly for my speed pickup. So the trace functionality works, but as you just saw, it's not very elegant, so I don't like to use it. I'll build it again, but again, the code is there. I've demonstrated it. I'll move on to get back to the header file for the character. In protected, I have the collect pickups. To collect them, server collect pickups. I've added the validation and implementation for this function. I'll show that in the CPP file. Again, these are just the basic stats. So variables for float, stamina, joy, speed, collection sphere, which is what I'm using to collect objects in this version. Current power, current stamina, these are all, as you can see, private. The current ones you have to use the accessor. On rep, just for application on clients. Protected functions, this is where the last protected is my trace, and this is everything for my trace. So get the current pickup if pickup is found, and these are all for my trace functionality. Alright, that covers the header file. Let's move on to my CPP. Alright, so this one started from here. So include network. Everything below this point has been coded by me. Not everything, so some of it was already there, but in here in the constructor itself, we have my collection sphere, the radius, and then initial power, which is my health. So health, stamina, joy, speed, and pickup name for my trace function. This is for networking, so call the super function first and then do rep lifetime to notify everyone. So all of my variables. Accessor functions, these are just the accessors. Again, checking if we are on the server and then updating it. So these are my update functions. This updates the power. I'll show where we are calling it, but it changes the current power. This is for HUD, this changes it. This one is for stamina. Stamina affects movement speed as well, and you can see the difference in here with joy. Joy affects the movement speed as well, but different to stamina. This was already there, so input. Alright, collect pickups. These are on replication. Alright, this one is the validate and implementation, as I talked about when I pick up objects. Some variables to get the power, total health, stamina, speed. What I've done here is I've casted the things I'm picking up, so cast it to my pickup class, which I will discuss in a minute. Cast it to my pickup class. If that works, then I move on to checking which pickup I got. Is it a health, is it a stamina pack? So again, cast it to my health class, and if that works, increase my total health. If stamina works, increase my total stamina. This one is for superpower pickup, and the last one is for speed. In the end, I update them all. So when this is done, if the changes are not near 0, I'll just update it. So updated power, that's my health. It also affects joy. Joy is actually affected by most of them, except the speed pickup. So yeah, I've updated all of this here. In the end, here's my trace function. Most of it was given to us, but I have changed the camera. I've changed some functionality in here, so just get name will do for my implementation, and then the clear pickup info. You can start that trace function by commenting it out, but everything is in there. So that was my player class. So every pickup is being updated in here. Okay, so the next thing I have to talk about is the power-ups. So this is my base class pickup, and I made derived classes from my base pickup class for health, speed, stamina, and super pack. So let's talk about my base class, which is pickup. Okay, so pickup class, constructor, networking, everything. First of all, everything has been commented in simple English again, so that it's easier to understand for so that I can understand it easily, and it will help you when if you go through the code. So yeah, all of these functions are in there. So if it's active, if I'm setting it active for my pickups, what server-side handling of what of being picked up. So picked up by this is a boolean. Pickup can be used. It's false when it's deactive. Replication, I've used these functions for replicating it on everywhere. So server and client, client-side handling. Okay, let's move on to the CPP. That was just the header file with all the definitions of the functions that are implemented. Let's talk about them in here. Again, so constructor, check if we are on the server. If that's true, we are setting it to true. Just first check. We don't want it to take every frame, so don't need that. Get lifetime replicated. This one's for letting communicate between everything, and we're just sending our bees active parameter. Okay, is active, return is active, set, that's just an accessor. Okay, set active, it's setting it active to new pickup state. There's the implementation, the server, that's just a debug message. So picked up by, again, check if we are on the server, who picked it up, notify the client about it being picked up, notify the client. So this was my basic base pickup class, but all of my pickups have been derived from it, so all of the functions are in there. I'll go over one, and all the others are pretty similar. So let's just talk about the health pickup, which was the first one I coded. So the constructor, again, networking, picked up by get power level. So this one is get the health, and this is my variable. Okay, simple enough. This is a U property, can be changed from blueprints, so you don't need to go into the code each time. That's the power of the pickup. That's what you gain when you pick it up. So header, this is the base value 200. Again, this can be changed from blueprints. Don't have to get into the code each time. Lifetime replication, networking, this is for networking. We are letting everyone know about the power when it has been picked up. So we pick it up, and this is the lifespan, which says after how many seconds do I want it to disappear, which is 0.1. It goes well with the electricity effect, pickup effect, particle effect, and then this is just an accessor. So header file and CPP file of my first pickup, which is the health. If I show you my other one, which is stamina, it's basically the same. So again, the constructor, networking, picked up by power, and another variable. So this time it's stamina. Again, set the base power, again can be changed by the blueprints, networking, let everyone know about stamina power, set lifespan, and an accessor. So all of my 4 pickups, which is health, stamina, speed, and super pack, are similar, and that covers my each type of power. Alright, so C++ code of player character and power-ups. This covers the C++, although I have some extra stuff in my blueprints as well. So if I load one, for some reason it's working very slow. Maybe it's because of the recording, but as soon as that loads up, I can show you that. The next part is C++ blueprint code of game mode. Yeah, alright. Okay, so didn't do anything here. We have discussed our character. Let's go over game mode. We'll talk about game mode and game state here. Then the only thing left would be spawn volume, which is extra functionality, and I'll talk about it in the end. So let's start with our game mode. Okay, before going into the game mode, because we were discussing power-ups, this is how I've added the it to be particle effect. So electricity, when we pick it up, that's the particle effect, and you can see you can change the power from the editor itself. So you can change it to be any number, how much you want to gain, and even the third person character has the basic health. So if you click on the third person character, okay, maybe, oh yeah, so you can change the base health and tweak it according to your game and balance it out as you need it to be. But that's the sphere radius. Here we are. So initial power, initial stamina, initial joy. Even the speed factors and speed can be tweaked from the editor itself. Alright, with that all sorted out, let's move on to our game mode. So game mode and game state have been used, of course, to set the game mode and state, and for the HUD as well. Okay, so drain timer, draining it over time, because we will have to decrease the health and all of the power things. So joy, that's the decay rate, update and update it all the time and check if we are winning, if we are losing. That's the timer. You property decay rate, to win, dead player count. So if one player dies, the game doesn't end. If both of us die, the game ends, and it shows end screen, as you can see in the demo I showed you. Yeah, so update gameplay, that's the header file. In here, this was already there. Alright, so this is where I set the game state. I've made the game state code here, so file there. I set the game state, set the initial values of the variables. So dead player 0 when we start the game, begin the game, access the world, check if the world exists, check if the game state exists. This far in the game they should. If not, something's wrong, so check would stop it. Set the dead players to 0. We are in playing mode now. Enums, this will be discussed when I get to the state. So we have different states. We set it to playing state, and yeah, just check if we are winning right now. The only one that matters here is power to win, which is health to win. This tells me when are we winning. Okay, it just goes through all characters and checks if you're winning. Let's move on to game state. Yeah. Okay, game state. This starts with the enums, which is playing, game over, won, and unknown. Unknown is when we don't know the state. But playing, game over, as you saw, won is when we win, and it shows the player name who won. I've demoed them both in the start if you want to revisit that. Again, networking, you property, power to win, stamina to win, joy to win. These are just it doesn't even matter to win, we just need the health. Just named them that way, but these are all my variables. Get the current state, that's an accessor. For this one's for getting the variable name for the winning player. And yeah, track the current playing state with this one. Again, everything has been committed in simple English for me, and would help when you go through it if I'm not explaining it very properly, because I haven't explained it before. This is new to me, but yeah, it's well commented. Okay, so here we start the game. We don't know, we are in unknown state. That's the default. This is being 2-rep lifetime, so everyone knows about these variables. Accessor, set the current state. That's what the server does. And yeah, that concluded the game mode and game state. So I've gone through the character, game mode, game state, all of my pickups. The only thing that remains is spawn volume, which is part of my extra functionality. Let's go back to Chrome. Okay, so show C++ or blueprint code for game mode or game instance. The one thing that we haven't discussed yet is the HUD. So we discussed the game mode. I made a blueprint class out of both of them, the game HUD and game mode. Then added a widget. This is my UI widget. Close up. For some reason, the Explorer seems to be not working properly, but alright, so health, if I can graph show, yeah, so get person, this is how I'm doing it, getting the state, getting the health I need to win, then getting the current one, dividing them, how much do I need to win, and just return the value. So getting it from the state, getting the current one from the character by casting them, and divide them to get the final answer. If any of these fail, it just sets it to 0. That's just a debug check, but it doesn't. Get text here gets me the name of the winning character, I believe. Oh, this one is for the pickup, so this one is for line trace. Get text 0. This one is for the line trace, just to get me the name of the thing I'm picking up. For my what was game text 0, winning player name, yeah. So this one gets me the name of the winning player, whoever is winning, again from game state. I append it, so whoever won, and depending on what state we are in, it just sends it out. So playing, press E to collect pickups. If the game is over, it sets it to game over. If we won, it says the name of the winning player and won. This is how my UI is working. So again, C++ and blueprints working together. Next up is my extra functionality. As I discussed, I haven't placed power-ups in the world myself, except the bigger speed ones. So this is a speed power-up, and the winning ones, this is the superpower pickup. Yeah, superpower, so which gives you a boost. So you collect these and you win. You have to traverse through the maze to find those pickups. These ones are in here for the demo purpose, which is health and stamina. So throughout the world there are no other pickups, so how does the player find pickups? This is being done randomly. That's my extra functionality, sorry. Alright, so these things that you see right here, these are spawn volumes. If I could select this one, spawn volume 2. Alright, so this is a spawn volume. I've coded it and I said tell it which blueprint do I want to spawn. It's spawning, this one is spawning the stamina, the first one is spawning the health pickup. The health is generated much faster than the spawn. These values can be tweaked. I've tweaked them according to the game, and I'll go over the code in a sec. So this is one of the extra functionality I've implemented in my game. Power-ups have not been placed, but they are randomly dropped from the spawn volume. So player, it's unpredictable and it's fun that way, but you can always tweak the values if you want to make it easier or harder. The other thing that's extra functionality, so that is C++ coding, spawn volumes, but because I'm in the editor right now, I want to show the extra functionality I put in to change the color of the player based on the power level. So if you're dying, it goes to red. If you're winning, it goes to green. Again, this works in conjunction with my C++. So we had a power change effect function in there, which I'm calling here, and it's changing the color of the player. So again, extra functionality to change color based on the power level, color of the body based on power level. The other one is my spawn volume, so I'll quickly go over this one as well. So spawn volume, this is the constructor, begin play, tick function. Again, this is just the U-box so that I know the spawn area where when I place it into the editor. Spawn pickup, spawn delay, those are my variables. That's the box. Okay, that's my function to calculate random point in the volume. I'll talk about it in the CPP. What to spawn, timer function, the delay. So max and minimum spawn delay to get a random value between spawning. Alright, in here, this is my C++ file. Let's start with the constructor. So on my server, where to spawn, we get that. We set it to the root component, where to spawn. Again, this is not done in the editor but in the C++. Set the base values for spawning them. So the range. On begin play, I get the range and set the timer accordingly. Tick function is just calling the super one. This one finds a random point between the origins and box extent and spawns it. So using the math library here. Then spawn pickup, it just spawns it into the world. So yeah, gets the world, spawns it, and this is all the functionality. This is rotating it so it doesn't fall straight all the time, it falls randomly and it's rotated, so no two pickups look the same. And yeah, dropped into the new world, delay and spawn the next pickup. It keeps going on, and that is my extra functionality in C++. So I think I've covered dynamic materials and a whole new different class for extra functionality. Let's go back once again. Alright, that finishes all the things I needed to discuss, but I'll go over it again. So game map, reducing health each time, get to the final point to win. I have all of these stats, health, stamina and joy. I have a trace function which shows what the name of the power up. I have 4 different type of pickups. Food, which is my stamina, health, super pack and speed. They glow to show them they can be interacted with. They can consume it. A custom particle effect, the lightning effect when I pick it up, and it appears on all clients as you saw. UI and HUD. The only thing I don't have in my game is a start screen, pause screen and end screen. With that said, the end screen does show when you win or when the game is over. And it also, if the game is over, it stops you from moving. So I have implemented that functionality in there. My HUD displays the vital stats and on-screen information. The camera has been set up accordingly. Third person, as we was told, we can do it in either. Video demonstration, I believe I have covered all of this. Everything, all of the code is well commented. I've gone through my blueprints as well. Extra credit, I have implemented a lot of extra functionality as well, a whole new different class, as well as the dynamic materials. And I think I went over game map, game mode, player character, vital stats, object detect to trace, power-ups, all of their power-ups created and work as described. They glow when looked at, player can consume them. Custom particle system is there, UI and HUD is there, UI and HUD it works. The video, this is the video. I hope the video demonstrated all the points listed. I went through the list. Code is written in efficient manner, yes. Object oriented, yes. It has been commented, yes. Everything has been commented, and I have included extra functionality. And I believe that is all I have to discuss in here. With that being said, this is my maze layout. Even the light, I've even changed the skylight, so it's casting a purple light instead of white, just for the aesthetics. This is the layout. There's my player. I have my client here, and that's all of my classes. So when you're going through it, there's the C++ classes folder, and there's a blueprints folder. Everything is either in here or there, except the third person, which is in the third person, of course. And that's all. Thank you. I really hope this was being recorded.